key.
Done.
You finished it?
Yep.
That is crazy perfect timing.
Wow.
Yep. All done.
Are we rolling?
Yep.
You guys, Izzy just this second finished A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yes.
Which is perfect because this is the ACOTAR episode.
Woo!
Oh, God.
Well, Brooke, you don't always have to be a star.
I know, but you do if you are going to be in the biggest boy band in the world. I gotten so worked up that I had thrown up on myself in my stroller. In my 14-year-old self, I said, those are hot men. And look at them now. They're like babies. That was kind of just like a casual interest, which I guess maybe a little bit more than casual. Izzy, walk us through 3 words. What are you feeling right now?
Shocked. A little sweaty. Not for the reason that you would think, though.
Yes.
And excited. I do think I'm going to have to read Magnolia Parks, though, as my buffer. I can't go into the third one yet.
That's fine. I did a buffer.
Yeah.
I think I did a buffer. Oh, I did a buffer after the 4th one, but I would recommend.
Yeah. I think I need
space.
Yeah.
Did you like that one better than the first?
Yeah. And I liked the first.
Okay.
But this one was like
Because a lot of people do.
A lot of
way,
people
way
do,
better.
Patrick knows that, and Patrick is here today to ask the hard-hitting ACOTAR questions.
Very knowledgeable. Right
Yeah.
now.
Because he really, I want to like blow smoke up your ass for a second, has been so supportive during my ACOTAR journey. I think it would be really hard to be somebody on the sidelines as a friend goes through this journey and like knowing nothing about fairies or fantasy or anything. And you have been asking me, you've been showing genuine curiosity. You've really been supporting my passion. Like I've never felt for one second that I'm bothering you by talking about it nonstop. You respond to the TikToks I send you, even though you don't get them. You know, I can tell you're really listening because you know all of the characters' names.
Well.
You show interest in them.
And
that's why you're here today, because I feel your support and I want your support today too.
Well, I love hearing you talk about your passions, you know, and this is kind of the past.
I think we're only on
few
7 months maybe now.
7?
Well, Patrick, it took me like a genuinely a year to read the first one because this is literally my first fantasy book ever. And I was like, I don't think I like it. And then it took me about 3 weeks to do the other 4.
Right. I kind of remember like you taking a long time on this one and then, but although that maybe that was 4th Wing, but I just remember kind of dragon sex, towns falling apart.
That was dragon kind of, sex is 4th Wing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not. You've got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm really excited for today. I do have some things that I want to cover really quickly before we get into ACOTAR because they're pressing on my mind right now. I have made a male yearning playlist on Spotify. It is just called Male Yearning. And you guys know that's just always been my favorite genre. But something happened recently, Patrick, in the American Airlines lounge.
Yes. Yes.
Where this song was playing, the song by Savage Garden that used to play like on my way to school in like, I don't know, like 2nd grade or something. It's like, I knew I loved you before I met you. And I remember being so taken by that because I would think about Clay Aiken.
And also too, like we were in the lounge at like midnight. Our flight didn't board until like 12:40, and it like felt like we were like in like a TJ Maxx in the early 2000s with the music. And like every song that came on, Brooke would be like, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And I'm like, "What song even is this?" And then "Hero" by Enrique Iglesias comes on, and Brooke is like, "Ooh, full body chills, full body chills." I'm like, what is happening?
It was literally like, it was the only thing that it could have gotten me through being in the American Airlines lounge at 12:40 a.m.
The fact that you were able to stay awake was really something.
No, I had got there and I had a bad attitude. And then that completely flipped it on its head. So that kind of kicked the male yearning fixation into high gear, more specifically male yearning of the early 2000s.
Right.
Okay, so I made this playlist on my Spotify. Y'all know it's just Lady Efron playlist, Male Yearning. The photo is just of Robert Pattinson. You'll recognize it.
We listened to it on the way here, didn't we?
Oh, sorry, that's Clay Aiken. That's not Male Yearning.
Measure of Man.
We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, we did listen to this on the way here. Something I want to touch on about the Male Yearning playlist is that I've talked about Clay Aiken very briefly a few times on here, and I feel like we kind of just gloss over it. And I want to just dig my heels in a little bit today because I feel like that's the one kind of obsession that you guys aren't really aligned with.
They're not grasping it.
I feel like you guys aren't really getting it. And I want you to, and I need you to. And I think that will really enhance the listening experience of the Male Yearning playlist because I had to put a lot of Clay Aiken pieces on there because he exemplifies male yearning, which is really interesting considering the trajectory of where his life has gone now, living as a gay man and politician.
Right. Okay.
Which
I was
just like you wouldn't
in politics.
you wouldn't think
my president.
You wouldn't think that's literally my president. But I think he's run for Senate. I don't know, something like that in North Carolina a few times and has not won. But he's made it really far.
We should move there and vote for him.
Yeah. That's really
That'd be good.
I would
That'd
like
be good.
to.
Because I have to say, with Clay Aiken, like obviously familiar with the chokehold he had on families across America when he was on American Idol. Women as well.
And
but I don't think I could name one of his songs.
Yes, you could. You know Invisible. Yes.
Invisible.
If I was invisible. You know that one?
No.
Really? Okay, well, let's get into it with Clay really quickly. Season 2. Okay, try not to look at my at the words up there, Patrick. I don't want you getting ahead of yourself. I typed out his whole timeline up there.
Also, for everyone that no one can see the screen, but it just says Clay Aiken, and there's like 14 bullet points.
But let me quickly get into it.
Just one moment
Will you
for
touch
me.
on it, Patrick? That's not even half of the book.
I don't think ACOTAR is happening today.
No, it is. This is so brief, just so you guys can really like enjoy the Male Yearning playlist.
All right, educate us.
Okay, Clay walks out. This is season 2. We've just had a huge Kelly Clarkson victory with Justin, Justin Gambino or whatever the young man's the runner-up's name was. Big
Kelly?
season, yeah. Big season. The show was really sweeping the nation. I was seated every week. Like,
Oh God, of course.
I
So
think
was the
that's
Johnson
literally
family.
the only thing my family did together ever was watch American Idol. So I was really excited for season 2. I remember it clear as day when Clay walked out. I saw him. The second I saw him, right away, I said, I'm interested. I'm interested in what's happening here.
Romantically interested.
And this is like, I was 7 when this was happening. So I had crushes, but I hadn't yet experienced that. Like, oh, I want to.
See, no, I remember this. Like, this takes me back.
Yeah.
There's certain American Idol auditions that you just remember.
Yes. So I hadn't yet experienced the feeling of like, I want to kiss this person.
Okay.
Because up until this moment, it's like, ew, that's gross. Like, I don't know. Ew, that's gross.
Hold on, pause. Your track record with liking gay men is crazy. Yet another.
Well, what's actually scary is like, it's one thing to like gay men knowing that they're gay already. But the amount of men that I have fallen for when they weren't out yet is really something.
That's actually like going forward, like anytime you have a crush on somebody, I'm going to be like, well.
Yeah, no, it genuinely, it's something to consider. Yeah, it's definitely something to consider. So he walks out. Immediately I'm feeling feelings that I haven't felt before yet of maybe like, maybe I want to kiss this guy right now. But he is presenting as like more of like very nerdy. He's doing like glasses, like khakis, like really doesn't.
Ew.
Glasses. He's doing glasses and khakis. So really not what Simon and Randy had in mind for the American Idol, quote unquote, because they were really driving home the point that like the American Idol also needed to be like, you need to look like the American Idol. Like you needed to be fashionable, which I really don't understand. Okay. So you can tell like they're not really taking Clay seriously when he walks out. Like Simon is slouching, like whatever. He's like, okay, why do you think you're going to be the next American Idol? And Clay's like, I've got what it takes.
Right.
And Randy's like, okay, go ahead. He starts singing Always and Forever. Not only does he have one of the most exceptional voices, we can't play it because we'll be flagged, right?
We play audition. We've watched auditions on BNC.
Do we? Oh, check this out, you guys. Listen to this.
Always and forever.
Rich.
But he looked like anything but an idol when he first auditioned for the program.
Just like a dream.
Oh my God, look at him.
Like imagine
Little
like slow
baby.
motion me falling in love watching this.
Right.
Listen to this.
And we'll share tomorrow together. Baby,
Oh my God, I have like goosebumps.
always love you forever.
Now you can kind of see the moment Simon pivots. And he's like almost like
Oh my God,
He's like,
Randy.
yeah, you are good, but they're like not ready to really give him the chance because of the way he looks, which is fucked up, by the way.
Right.
But they like literally are like, I just like, you don't look the part, but we're gonna send you through because you have a good voice, which like that's the whole fucking point of the show.
Right,
like,
right.
of course you're gonna send
can-
him through.
We can change that over time.
Right.
And he doesn't have to change that if he doesn't want to.
I know it's like kind of pissing me off thinking back on it, but like, anyway, they sent him through. He obviously like killed it. They gave him, I remember very specifically, and I couldn't find it on YouTube. They had this whole like clay makeover segment, and they gave him a full on like pop star makeover.
Once he had like made it far enough.
I think pretty early on, and he looked good. Let me just leave it at that. He looked good. He came
He did
out
like that transformation.
He was doing, and I was also obsessed with Grease at this time. He came out to sing the song Grease, red leather jacket,
What that
popping
do to
his
ya?
hips. They
Yup.
gave him highlights. Play Aiken, Grease. What this did to me? Look at
Unspeakable.
look at the way he's changed and really come into himself.
Oh my God.
I mean, I am 2 inches from the TV, like calling in nonstop.
Right.
Anyway,
Oh my God. Like, yeah, I remember you'd call in from like the home phone.
he literally by a landslide would win like the audience popular vote. He got out at a certain point, like before the top 12. And then remember there was that thing like the audience
He
can
got
bring you back
saved?
in. He got saved by the audience and then
And he ended up getting second, right?
he literally won the audience vote like every week. And then the amount of votes that were being called in for the finale for Ruben and Clay
Right. He was against Ruben
broke
Studdard.
the mainframe.
Uh-huh.
And they were like having technical difficulties. And
So you think the election was
yeah, it
rigged?
The election was rigged.
The election
Clay
was rigged.
lost by like a millifraction,
Uh-huh.
and the election was rigged. And I don't mean to discredit Ruben at all.
No,
Ruben is
Ruben was
obviously
phenomenal.
like phenomenal, like amazing performer, amazing voice, great guy. Clay and Ruben to this day are friends.
Uh-huh.
But I do think the votes were off.
I do think that my family was voting for Ruben over
You're
Clay.
fucking with me.
We loved Clay. But I think we were voting for Ruben if I'm
Okay,
remembering
I'll call
correctly.
Patty on the way home
Okay.
because that doesn't
Need
sound like her.
Need to clarify.
Mm-hmm. But Clay went on to be more successful commercially with his first album, Measure of a Man, which is the album that you're going to be hearing on this playlist. Went multi-platinum, Patrick. 2 words for you, multi-platinum.
Is that a joke?
No. What?
Wait. Clay Aiken's album went multi-platinum?
Multi-platinum.
Are you sure?
No.
Multi-platinum is like big.
I'm pretty sure Clay Aiken, Measure of a Man, multi-platinum. Okay, right. I can tell you, multi-platinum album. Okay, the album received RIAA double platinum. That's the same as multi-platinum, right?
Can we look up what like gives that qualification?
He received a double platinum plaque
Right. But what does it
on
mean
Good
to
Morning
go?
America.
What does it mean to go double platinum?
Okay, what does it mean to go double? An album that becomes platinum twice over. For example, an album which has sold 2 million copies in the United States.
Wow.
It's truly one of the best albums of all time.
That's crazy.
It's what Invisible is
Good for
on.
Clay.
Yes, good
Wow.
for Clay. It's incredible. It's like really an exemplary male yearning album and also just like good music in general. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize my glasses were on. My apologies.
horrible.
I don't like the way I look in those. I hope Clay doesn't see this. But yeah, remarkable album. The song Invisible like was his big hit. Great song, great music video. I remember there was a great performance on Good Morning America that I had TiVo'd.
Right, you were dialed in.
TiVo'd and rewinded. But there's also a song that's on the playlist that if you guys do take my plea seriously, which I hope you do, it's called The Way. And I would like you to listen to that song for me because that's my favorite Clay song. And I really it's probably, I don't know if I would feel comfortable asking him these questions, but if I could have him on this podcast,
right,
I would be really curious to know like what it was like writing and singing these songs about like wanting a woman so badly while probably grappling with your own sexuality as gay.
Right.
Like,
that would be
wonder,
tough.
Was he picturing a man or like did he not know or what?
And also too, I feel like at that time when you were like you had that contract, I know they still do it, but like in the early days of American Idol, you're like locked into that contract. I'm sure you had to make music of some sort.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
Did you how did your family feel about your Clay Aiken obsession, or like were you sharing this obsession with friends, or was this kind of something private?
It was family based.
Okay.
It was. They were definitely supportive. I remember one time I had the CD and I took the like poster of Clay out from the front of the CD and hung it on my room. And I remember my dad saying something like, oh, I bet you want to kiss that poster. And I was
fuming,
literally like, you're sick. Like you're like, that's not funny. Like that's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ew. Like I was.
You had probably already kissed it.
Probably. I was like, so mortified by the suggestion. But I remember like it was in jest and like they knew how much he meant to me. But I don't think I really felt comfortable. I was still embarrassed at that point to express the fact that I wanted to kiss him. Right. But they knew I couldn't hide it.
Right.
But yeah, really, 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 really can't say enough good things about Clay Aiken. And I remember his sexuality was like a big speculation too.
While he was on?
Well, after. Because he just like, I don't know. I was reading a People article from 2005 yesterday, right. And he was like, you either have to be like a macho man womanizer or people think you're gay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gay. Mm-hmm. And that was just like over and over. He was like, I'm not gay. And then I think eventually he was like, well,
team.
Well, you guys, you actually got me. So.
Oh, I feel bad for him having to do that.
I do too.
He's probably grappling with his sexuality while being in the spotlight about everything.
I know. And it's so interesting because the songs that he sang on American Idol like weren't male yearning songs. It was like more like poppy or like Bridge Over Troubled Water. But like he pivoted fully to male yearning in his solo career.
Right.
So I wonder, I guess like that was kind of like maybe the direction of the studio that he was
Right. We got to get him on.
I know.
You need to ask all these questions.
He's someone like I don't want anyone that I feel really, really strongly for on this podcast just due to what would be going on within. Mm-hmm. Except for Andrew Barth Feldman obviously is the exception and Clay would be the exception. What's also interesting is how this exact experience repeated with David Archuleta, like down to like all the specifics.
Right.
Of like how deeply I cared for David.
Uh-huh.
Runner up.
In my mind, I would have thought
gay later in life.
Oh yeah,
it's like literally the history repeating itself to the minute details.
But you, based on what I know of you, I feel like your obsession of David Archuleta would have been stronger than.
Well, I was
Clay.
out at that point. Is it?
Huh?
I was like being obsessed with like I felt comfortable being like, yeah, I want to kiss David Archuleta.
Right.
Whereas
right.
Clay, I was
you were more out of the closet.
I was out. Yeah. So I felt comfortable, and like because I felt comfortable, like I was like probably even like inside like ready to experience those feelings more deeply than I was with Clay when I wasn't out.
Right.
You know? Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Apostrophe. Summer is here and we're ready to look and feel confident inside and out. It's hard to feel confident at the beach sometimes, in a bathing suit particularly, but you know what? Body neutrality. I don't want to spend all my time at the beach thinking about my body, so I'm just not going to think about it and dip my toes in the water. One of the biggest things that can lead to a lack of self-confidence is your skin. Acne breakouts, rosacea, wrinkles, these can all take a toll on your confidence level. Apostrophe's goal is to help you feel confident in your own skin. Whether you're dealing with breakouts, signs of aging, or acne scarring, Apostrophe will help you love the skin you're in. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne treatment for your unique skin. Through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne. Simply fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and medical history. Then, snap a few selfies and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne, from hormonal acne to facial acne, and even back, chest, and butt acne. I love Apostrophe because you don't have to leave your house while getting access to an expert dermatology team. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/OWB when you use our code OWB. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/OWB and click Get Started. Then use our code OWB at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. Hey guys, we'd like to take a moment to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Goodr. If you're looking for stylish sunglasses starting at only $25 a pair, you have to check out Goodr. They're no slip, no bounce, and all polarized. Their sunglasses have a 1-year warranty and 30-day free returns. Goodr just launched new vintage-inspired shades called the Retro G's. These shades are available in 4 colors, and as always, these won't slip or bounce. Goodrs are great for running, cycling, golfing, going to the beach, hiking, or just driving around with your friends in the sun. Now is the perfect time to get them for all your summer vacations and activities. And because they're so affordable, you'll never worry about losing them or breaking them. If you want to support the show and try a pair, Goodr is giving Obsessed listeners free shipping. You can go to goodr.com/OWB and use code OWB for free shipping. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's goodr.com/OWB and use code OWB for free shipping.
Speaking of out.
I know it's coming.
Speaking of out, Brooke and I were in Florida. We were in Florida or New York when this happened. I don't know.
New York, I think.
And we were talking, and we were just talking about how I was like, oh, like when I came out and like, oh, I was so like my family was so accepting, like they don't care. My family's all from the South, but everyone is so like open, liberal, open-minded, whatever. And Brooke's like, yeah, like my family is too, blah, blah, blah. Looks at me and goes, we are so lucky. I was like, wait, Brooke, you're not gay.
Oh, Patrick, it's just like I'm an empath, I guess.
Right. And we are so lucky.
And we are so lucky.
We are so lucky.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like you're more inclined to give Clay a shot now that you have the basic understanding of him?
In terms of his music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know like what it means to work in politics when you keep losing. No offense to him at all. Like, I think
Right.
he just like lost a few races, but like, what do you do when you don't get the position?
You get
Keep campaigning?
involved in some sort of political role, I think.
Yeah.
Just something that's like not an elected office. I don't know.
I don't know either, Patrick. It's none of our business.
But next election, you should like share his stuff.
Can you imagine if I like
Vote for Clay.
completely pivoted career paths and just like campaign for Clay Aiken? Okay, I'm like, here we go. We're gonna do ACOTAR. I'm like nervous. I'm getting the burps because this is like feels really
Show
important.
everyone your Wallace and Gromit shirt.
I feel like no one's talking about my Wallace.
No one has said a word.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
I feel like no one's
Yeah.
talking about it. Yeah.
Can I tell you something? When we brought up Wallace and Gromit like a month ago on this show, we were watching a clip of Wallace and Gromit, and Izzy looked at, like, she quietly turned and was like, "You look like that."
You do?
Yeah.
One of
I
the
don't
bald
think you-
ones.
Sweet.
Like Wallace?
Wallace, yeah. Which honestly, I don't think she's wrong,
Like,
but
we
I just
all
didn't
look
want to
like
let that
Wallace.
pass.
Let me show you what Kenny sent me the other day, and you'll understand.
I think I look like Wallace.
What does Gromit look
He's
like?
a dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's really cute.
Is this not Kenny?
What?
That is kind of my vibe, I guess.
I guess I see it a little, Kenny. I see it a little. But we all look like claymation in different ways. Patrick, you never watch Wallace and Gromit?
No, I did.
So good. They're coming out with a new movie.
That is exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Was Wallace and Gromit separate from, what was it?
Shaun the Sheep?
Chicken Run? Or is Chicken Run a video game?
It is separate from Chicken Run, but it's like the same. I think it's the same people. It's the exact
claymation
same
thing.
claymation
Okay,
style.
okay.
Just so you guys know, we're about to dive into the ACOTAR portion of the episode. I did start it, had to completely pause,
Restart.
had a little bit of a panic attack because I'm just like feeling the pressure with this episode and I really want to do it justice. And I'm gonna.
And you will.
And
you will.
And I will.
This is your passion right here.
This is my passion.
This is your passion right here.
I'm just like, the first book has so much kind of like build up in the world that it's overwhelming to kind of share all of that information. But I'm really going to do my best.
Right.
So.
And if you have a problem with the way Brooke does it, F off.
Yeah. Thanks,
Tell him.
Patrick. F
Tell
off.
him. F off.
Respectfully.
She's expert at this. So.
Ooh, okay.
another moment.
Yeah, totally an expert at this. Okay. So as I said before I had a little bit of a panic attack. As I said before, A Court of Thorns and Roses is actually loosely based off of
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, right? Sarah J. Maas was writing this around the same time that she was writing Throne of Glass. Kenny asked a good question.
Yes. Were you reading that series and then you found out about this and that's why you started reading ACOTAR?
No, I started
Okay.
reading ACOTAR first because that's her most like commercially popular series.
Okay.
And then I went back and read Throne of Glass.
Gotcha.
Which I think I would recommend for everybody to start with ACOTAR because that's more just like palatable to people who have not read fantasy before maybe, and then go to Throne of Glass. But she was actually releasing ACOTAR and Throne of Glass like simultaneously at one point, but she did start with Throne of Glass. So let's get into the plot of ACOTAR. Okay, so Feyre is our main character.
Yes.
She is the provider for her whole family. They live in a cabin in the woods. Her dad doesn't do shit. Okay, has a bum dead leg because he was beat up by people he was in debt to. He doesn't do anything besides like whittle pieces of wood. Okay, she has two sisters. One's name is Elaine, and she really is just like a sweetheart, but just like
she's not helping.
She's not
doing
helping.
much.
She can't do much. Feyre's out there hunting. They're starving basically. Feyre has to go out and hunt for food. Elaine can't be getting her hands dirty like that.
You're so Elaine.
So Elaine. And then Nesta is just like bitter and just like not helping because she is just like pissed at the world and just like does not identify with the state of their life in the cabin.
Right.
And is like pissed at their dad and just like not helping kind of really out of spite.
And
She's
these are
kind of nasty.
And as a clarifying question I had asked previously, these are humans.
These are humans.
No, we're not doing like
There's no pointy ear.
no wings.
These are humans right now. It is mentioned at the beginning that there is a wall that Feyre is hunting near, and across this wall, that's the fairy realm. We don't know much about fairies yet, except that humans hate them, and Feyre believes that they come across the wall, even though they're not supposed to, because there's a treaty between humans and fairies that says live separately in peace.
Right.
Feyre believes they come across the wall and taunt and like torture humans. So she hates them. And it's very dangerous to be close to the wall.
Okay. And I'm thinking already, this is kind of like why I, again, have not read this ever. My only knowledge is from you. But like why I like prefer Harry Potter over Star Wars. You're introduced to the fantasy world versus like being immediately thrown in it where you're supposed to already understand all these like dragons and everything. Is that true of this, where it starts as humans and then you're kind of slowly introduced into it, or not really at all?
No, I mean, it does 100% start as humans, and you are reading things through Feyre's point of view, and she is a human, and you are being introduced to the world as she is.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're not thrown into the world as a member of the Star Wars community.
Right.
Already. Yeah, that's a good point, Patrick. Yeah, you are experiencing this as Feyre is experiencing this. And she has no experience with fairies really at all, except for what she's heard.
Boy, is she gonna get some.
Yup.
Yup.
Except for what she's heard. And at this point, we don't really like know what fairies even are.
Okay.
But she is hunting to provide for her family, and she's dangerously close to the wall because she has already like hunted everything else at this point, and there's scarce things left for her. So she sees a massive wolf, and she says like she is worried about hunting close to the wall because she doesn't want to accidentally kill a fairy. Like she knows that these wolves could possibly be fairies or these creatures, and she doesn't want to fuck with that. Okay. But she sees a wolf. It's either going to kill her or she's going to kill it. Doesn't think much about it. Kills the wolf. Okay. It's a massive wolf.
deal.
Okay. It's a massive wolf. Brings it back to her family. All's good. They eat the wolf. No worries. She's like, that's fine.
Right.
That was just a wolf.
They do.
Okay. A few days later, a beast. Picture like Beauty and the Beast type of beast.
Okay.
Beast comes knocking at the cabin door. Scary looking thing.
You're kidding.
No, scary looking thing. And says, so that was my buddy.
Unfortunately, that was my friend. So you just killed my friend.
That was my friend that you killed.
And
And here are your choices for your consequences. I'm going to either kill you right now, or you can come live across the wall with me. So she's like, well, okay, fuck me. And goes and lives across the wall. So the beast kind of puts a spell on her, knocks her out to take her across the wall so that she doesn't see where she's going, that she can't find her way back. Okay?
Okay.
When she gets there, the beast has kind of put his human form back on, because we learn fairies can go back and forth between, some of them can go back and forth between their animal forms and their form that looks more like a human, but is a fairy, which is essentially a human looking entity with the pointy ears. And I'll show you the beast's name we learn is Tamlin. And this is kind of what he looks like. This is what Feyre is experiencing. This is him.
Okay.
Emily,
come on.
So right off, just from a visual perspective, obviously like handsome guy.
Handsome devil.
Handsome devil. He is what they call high fae, which is like more of like the royal.
He's like a lord.
Fae. Kind of, yeah, Patrick. Like royalty, kind of. And then there are also lesser fairies that are more like creature-esque.
Okay.
But he's more like human-esque. And that's high fae. Okay. He also has a friend that Feyre meets right off the bat named Lucian. And they're both handsome looking, human adjacent, high fae. And they're basically living in a McMansion.
Of course.
Okay. Right off the bat, Feyre is like dressed really well. They're giving her like really great food, which is not something that she had access to in
and she
in
has
the
left
mortar
her
realm.
family behind.
They're gone, and she's pissed. Like she's not happy about this.
They're gone in the sense that she's now in this new world,
She's
or
in this
they
new
killed
world.
her family.
No. Her family's completely they're untouched.
Okay.
Yeah, but Feyre's really like upset about being away from them because she's the provider, and she wants to be taking care of them.
Right.
But she's in this McMansion. She's being well fed, well taken care of. Tamlin is actually kind of like nice, it turns out. Lucian is like funny and sweet and like bantery, kind of like smart ass, but sweet. There's this woman, I don't know if it's pronounced Alice or Alice. It's A-L-I-S.
I always say Alice.
Alice, who is like assigned to her to like take care of her, like get her dressed, do her hair.
Did she get some form of royalty for killing whoever she killed? Or no?
What do you? Oh, like
that whoever that wolf was?
No.
But
like, you mean like a crown?
Yeah, like why? Well, she killed the wolf and then was like, "You're either gonna die or come with me." And then now she's like living so royally.
And she's just living with Tamlin.
Oh,
He's like, "You just have to live with me," and like you're free to come and
is there
go.
romance budding?
Well,
here?
Patrick, I don't know.
Okay.
And he says you're free to come and go. Just stay like within my lands because I can't really protect you outside of my lands.
Hot.
Okay, definitely hot. Yeah, definitely hot. But it's like so clear that her life is like so much better over here. She's not starving. These guys are like hot and sweet to her, but she's so pissed and like she keeps trying to run away. And they're like, you literally have to stop. Like your family's fine. Don't worry about it. Like just live here and be content. And she's
Furious.
like literally annoying. I'm sorry to say. Like obviously I understand like it wasn't her choice to be taken across the wall, but the complaining, it was like just like you're having.
And like with her time away, maybe it's time Elaine steps up
Maybe
for the
it's not
family.
Elaine or Nessa steps up
Right.
for the family.
Step up for the family.
But Tamlin is really taking care of her, and she's living it up in the McMansion. Okay. Now there are kind of like mysterious things happening
Okay.
around Feyre and around these lands. There are creatures that are definitely dangerous that are roaming around, and Tamlin says, I want you to kind of stay clear of these. There is a blight. So
I don't want to freak out. There's a blight.
I don't want y'all to freak. There's a blight. Okay. And Feyre's like, what do you mean there's a blight? And everyone's just like, there's a blight right now.
Okay.
Okay. We don't know anything about
And
the
you don't
blight.
even know what a blight means.
No fucking idea. I had to Google what a blight is. It's just like there's a plague of sorts. There's like a magical plague of sorts.
Okay.
She has no information. All she knows is that people keep referring to like a mysterious like she in relation to the blight.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Kenny, are you following so far?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, this is good. I think so. She's been whisked away to this magical land. I'm a little confused why
she's pissed.
why she isn't like in servitude to the like why she just gets like the luxury VIP
No, it's
pass.
a great question.
Yeah, it
And
seems
one
like
that
it
we
really
will
benefited
find
her.
out the answer to.
Yeah.
But objectively, it doesn't make sense that her punishment is just like living in a castle,
Right. That's kind of where I was confused as
eating
well.
good
Yeah,
with these hotties, free
Yeah.
to come and go. Like you're right, something is not making sense.
okay.
However, there's a blight coming.
But there's a blight.
Don't forget.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So Feyre's wanting more information that she is not getting from Lucian or Tamlin or Alis or whoever. So Patrick, she wants to trap a Suriel. We've spoken about the Suriel before.
Hold on. Trap a what?
Suriel.
Suriel.
Yeah. Which is a creature that has to tell you the truth. Okay? She has learned about this creature. However, she knows it has to tell you the truth. She asks Lucian, how do you trap a Suriel? He says, good luck. That's like the hardest thing in the world. You're not going to be able to do it. But like, if I were you, here's what I would do. But also, that's so fucking stupid. Don't do it. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. She traps it easily. Okay? Because that is just like so Feyre, expert huntress.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Huntress. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Expert
Love that.
huntress. And the Suriel's kind of just like giving her the information right away. Like it seems to kind of almost like her a little bit.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you already say this? What form is a Suriel taking on?
That's a really good question. Let's Google what the Suriel looks like. A Suriel is a kind of fairy that doesn't resemble a human. Here is the Suriel. Okay?
Okay. Pretty.
It's definitely pretty. For those of you who can't see, kind of like a skeleton looking like figure. There's a lot of memes of the Suriel drinking tea. The
Okay,
teacup.
okay.
Because the Suriel like gives you the tea.
Okay. Ooh, I love that.
Okay?
I need to get drinks with the Suriel.
Yes, exactly. A lot of meme content out of the Suriel. A lot of meme content. So the Suriel answers some of Feyre's questions. He's explaining that Tamlin is actually not just High Fae. He is a High Lord, which is a really big deal. There are 7 High Lords in Perithian, ex-Perinthian. There are 7 High Lords.
And you want to know something, Brooke?
Yeah.
When a lord dies, in order to get him back to life, all the other lords have to be there in support.
So, Patrick, you're definitely...
So take that, High Lords. Everybody be there to bring him back to life.
Patrick, you're on to something that happens later. No worries. This is a spoiler. This is a spoilery episode.
Okay.
We have
But you're
like
onto
300
something.
more pages to go.
Okay.
You're on to something, but you've got the crux of it here. You're on.
Showing off some knowledge I have.
So
Jumping the gun.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
no,
Back to
hey,
Suriel.
Patrick, this is what I'm telling you about Patrick. Like I have told him things, and he retains them, and he really.
And you know, there's
he
one other
internalizes-
section I'm really
yeah.
excited for, but
He
we'll get there.
internalizes them, and that's just like the epitome of support, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh God, love you to death.
Okay. So the Suriel's explaining kind of like the structure of the land. 7 High Lords. Tamlin's one of the High Lords. That's a big deal that you're with Tamlin. He's a big deal. He's the High Lord of the Spring Court. There's 7 courts, which you know.
Spring, night. There's just some more seasons. Like
There's spring, summer, autumn. What's
Gonna
the,
say
what's the
autumn.
other season? Summer,
Winter.
night, day, dawn.
everybody wants to be night.
Well, we're not there.
God damn it.
Patrick, you were gonna ahead of the game. Okay. The Suriel says, "Stay with the High Lord."
Yes.
Okay. If I had a whiteboard right now, I would write, stay with the High Lord, all caps, underline 3 times, 3
Right.
different colors, put a circle around it,
Right.
highlight, stay with the High Lord. Okay, that's what's going to keep you safe. Feyre is asking some more questions about the Blight, and here's what she learns from the serial. She learns that there's another land across the ocean called Highburn,
Oh God.
which is not ruled in terms of courts. Okay, that is ruled by one king, and the king is pissed because humans used to be slaves.
Okay.
Okay, and now the slaves are free, and he wants the humans to be back as slaves
Okay. Wait, in that land.
in that land. Okay,
Wait, in this current land, is it called a Court of Thorns? And what's the name of the land
Corinthian.
they're
They're
in?
in
Right,
Corinthian, and it's divided
Corinthian.
by the
Okay.
courts and then the mortal lands where Feyre lived on the bottom by the wall. But this land across the ocean, which was like a part of that war so long ago, also lost the human slaves in this war, and that king wants them back. So the king, years and years ago after this war, sent over spies to eventually kind of infiltrate Corinthian and start another war so that he could get his human slaves back.
Okay.
And he was explaining that one of the king's spies ended up deceiving him and is now known as the Deceiver. Okay? Hey guys, we're taking a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Cora. Everyone wants to be comfortable on their period, and Cora's new made-to-move period pads are by far the best option out there. These pads are designed specifically for comfort and leak protection, whether you're running, dancing, working out, or just on the go. I like to use pads, but they don't always feel comfortable. They can bunch or shift around, and that's why Cora designed their new made-to-move period pads. They have a really unique shape with elevated sides that create a custom contoured fit that's light and form-hugging. They stay close to your body, protecting against leaks and bunching as you move. And they're made with 100% organic cotton top sheet. I've really been enjoying the made-to-move pads because I don't always want to wear a tampon, and they're super thin but absorbent, so I don't have to worry. Plus, with every purchase, Cora provides period products and body education to people who might otherwise go without. They've donated over 24 million period products to date. Do what I did, choose Cora's made-to-move pads and be comfortable on the go. Available only at Target or online at cora.life/OWB. And when you use my exclusive promo code OWB, you'll get 20% off all Cora's great products. That's cora.life/OWB. Don't wait, get 20% off with promo code OWB at cora.life/OWB. Hey guys, we're taking a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Squarespace. I love Squarespace because it's the user-friendly platform that allows people and business to create professional websites without the need for technical knowledge or coding skills. Whether you're just starting out or managing your growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create, sell, and engage with your audience all in one place. You can start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. Choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build a unique online presence, tailored to your brand or business, and optimized for every device. Then, easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. You also have the option to sell content with Squarespace. Just add a paywall to sell memberships, courses, and files your customers can download, like PDFs, music, or ebooks. If you're not looking to sell, try their video collection. Upload video content, organize your video library, and showcase your content on video pages. You can even add a paywall to your content to sell access to your video library. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/OWB to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/OWB to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So we don't know anything besides that because right at this moment, the Naga come, which are another form of creatures. Okay? More creatures are come.
You said MAGA. During January 6th.
The Naga come. And the Surreal's like, oh, you have to like untrap me now or the Naga are going to kill me. And Feyre's like, well, shit, they're going to kill me too. If I free you right now, like that's going to shave valuable time off of me escaping. But she does.
Okay.
And she frees the Surreal.
Okay.
And gives him time to escape before helping herself. And the Surreal's going to remember that. Okay?
Right.
Now we have
Good karma.
Now we have the Naga about to kill Feyre. Okay?
Right.
You know she's an expert huntress. So she is doing well, but she is going to die.
Yes.
By the Naga. Saved in the nick of time. By Tamlin hears her screaming, saved by the literal buzzer. Okay?
Tamlin. I'm kind of getting feelings for Tamlin so far.
No, that's
He's
kind of like
giving
what
you
you're
the
supposed
good
what's
life.
supposed to be happening. Giving you the good life,
Saving you.
saving you by the buzzer, especially. But Feyre is still ungrateful. Okay? She's wanting to go home still.
Okay, Feyre, like, grow up.
It's like,
Like, you got it good right now.
Tamlin, thank you for saving my life, but not even really. Take me the fuck home. Like, I hate it here. Okay? Tamlin swears, he's like, listen, like, I promise that your family is so well taken care of. I've got it covered. I've altered their memories so they think that you're living with your sick aunt. Okay? No skin off their backs. They don't think you're in any sort of danger. Honestly, they probably wouldn't even fucking care.
Right.
If she was. But
Worst.
they're taken care of. Everything's good. You don't have to worry about taking care of them, which is something that Feyre promised her mom that she would do before her mom died. Your promise is fulfilled. So Feyre finally starts to relax, knowing that her family is taken care of. And she kind of even starts to warm up to Tamlin in the way that we kind of are. Kind of like maybe he
Like crushing
maybe
warm
I
up?
like his muscles.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he's a little bit hot. Okay.
Yeah, it's about time you came around, Feyre. Like, come on. Always complaining.
Now we enter a special night. And this is when the book starts getting really, really, really good. Okay.
Okay.
The night is called, I want to say it's called Calamai. I've been pronouncing it calamari.
Okay.
That's how I did it last
So
night.
we're just going to call it calamari. Okay. Tamlin says to Feyre, no matter what happens, do not come out of your room on this night. That's all I ask of you. Okay.
Something tells me I know what she's doing.
Do not come out of your room.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously comes out of her room.
Of course.
Okay. She makes her way to wherever the ceremony is happening, outdoors on a hill somewhere, and she is cornered by 3 like scary seeming men. Okay. And they have bad intentions. As these men are kind of closing in on her, they're stopped by somebody that says, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. And that's another thing that I'm writing on my whiteboard. Okay.
There you are.
There you are. I've been looking for you. I'm underlining that 3 times too.
Okay.
Okay. She turns around to look at this person who has kind of saved her. And she says, and there standing in front of me was like the most beautiful creature that I've ever seen.
Bone carver.
No. No. Okay, Patrick, that's a character in later books.
Okay.
But I love the spirit. Okay. Most beautiful man she's ever seen. But so he scares off these 3 men that clearly have bad intentions. So she's like, okay, I'm glad about that. But also this beautiful creature man in front of me is like very intense, like giving me like very intense vibes. And I think it's time for me to head back to the McMansion.
Wait, who's giving intense vibes?
The man.
Beautiful man?
We don't know the beautiful man yet.
Oh, that
Most
she was
beautiful
feeling
creature.
like really.
She was like, don't worry, I have this page bookmarked. So let me
like she was so taken aback
She
by
was
him.
taken aback by his
Excuse me.
Basically, he says, there you are. I've been looking for you. Said a deep, sensual male voice I've never heard. But I kept my eyes on the 3 fairies,
Sensual.
bracing myself for a fight as the male behind me stepped to my side and slipped a casual arm around my shoulders. Thank you for finding her for me, my savior said to them, smooth and polished. Enjoy the rite. Blah, 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 blah. I stepped out of the shelter of my savior's arms and turned to thank him. Standing before me was the most beautiful man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay? Everything about the stranger radiated sensual grace and ease. High fae, no doubt. Okay?
Okay.
So she's getting really intense vibes from the beautiful man, and she's like, it's time for me to go back to the mansion. Obviously, it wasn't a good idea for me to come here, which, like, no fucking shit.
Right.
Okay?
Right. With all the, like,
With all the men.
stuff, like, there's going to be something that.
Obviously. So she gets back to the McMansion. Lucian was like, that was so stupid of you. You are so dumb.
Right.
Basically, what's happening right now is Tamlin is not going to be the Tamlin that you know. He has magic coursing through his veins. He's repopulating the magic right now of the land by having sex with a maiden to make the soil fertile with magic. Okay, so he would actually not be the Tamlin you know due to that coursing through his veins. He's got a job to do. You have no business being around there. Okay.
He's really doing scary alpha male right now.
He's complete alpha male.
That's okay, and it has nothing to do with Feyre's actions, or it does.
Like the fact that he's doing alpha male?
Yeah.
No, this is a ritual that happens once a year.
And you know what? Prediction.
Give it to me.
Mr. Handsome Devil that saved her is going to have some serious deep-rooted beef with Tamlin. That's gonna be
Awesome prediction. Awesome prediction.
So much.
Okay. Any questions at this point?
No, I can kind of see this love triangle forming.
Yes. Okay. So Feyre's like embarrassed that she came out of her room, whatever. She tries to go to sleep. She can't. She's kind of like pissy that Tamlin's fertilizing the soil by having sex with another
She probably
woman,
wants to get fertilized.
Yeah, she probably wants
does.
to get fertilized. She goes back downstairs.
Don't blame her.
She goes back downstairs. She can't sleep. There's Tamlin. Okay? He's still got the magic coursing through his veins.
Okay.
He's not himself. Okay? You can tell that right away. He's not himself.
Kind of scared where this is headed.
He's not himself. He kind of like gets really close to her and he's like, you have no idea like how much I was looking for you. Like you don't know what I would have done to you if you were there. Like, and then he bites her on the neck, but like in a hot way. And you're kind of reading this and you're like, ooh, like this is like scary, but I don't mind it.
Right.
Scary, but I don't mind it. Feyre is clearly like horned up.
Right.
Okay.
Get it, girl. Come on.
Kind of liking this version of Tamlin, but also is terrified. And this is really when she realizes, okay, I've got it. I've got it bad for Tamlin because she does not like the thought of him with another woman. She loves him biting.
He does not like him fertilizing the town.
She doesn't like him fertilizing with other women.
No.
She loves him biting her neck. Okay.
Yep.
And he very clearly is very interested in her as well because he wanted it to be her that he was fertilizing.
And were you thinking like Twilight vibes were when he bit her neck? That
I
something would
really was
happen?
getting Edward vibes. I was also getting Edward vibes from the man who saved her because I know you haven't really paid attention when we've watched Twilight, but there's a scene in Twilight where Edward swerves up in his Volvo because three men are about to attack Bella.
Right.
Men are about to attack Bella, and he can read via mind control what they're gonna do.
Right.
And so he's trying to keep
smell
his
the
distance.
blood too.
There's no blood, but he can. But he can. He's been trying to keep his distance from Bella, but he can't. And this time, because he knows something bad's gonna happen to her, swerves up in his Volvo and takes her away from the men. That reminds me what the handsome man did.
Right.
To
I see.
Feyre at
Yeah.
that moment. Okay.
Okay.
And also Tamlin is just kind of like also giving a little bit of. It's giving Edward and Bella a little bit, just like human, not human, yearning, etc.
Neck biting.
So after the neck biting, there's a lot of sexual tension. One day they're having an intimate moment in sort of like a meadow of sorts. Okay. And Feyre has some fairy wine, which I know you would love. Like that shit gets you fucked up. Like especially if you're a human, Tamlin's like you like need to be careful with the fairy wine. Like I don't want you.
Easy.
I don't want you drinking the fairy wine. She knocks it back.
Right.
Okay. And her and
Probably
Tamlin
trying to impress Tamlin.
kiss and kind of admit their feelings for each other. Okay.
Ooh.
The first time. Things are starting to look good, Patrick.
Okay.
Feyre's really into Tamlin. Tamlin's into her. I'm thinking, okay, the romance is finally gonna like bust out. Like this book's about to get smutty. Okay. Nope.
And that's what we all hope and pray for.
That's what we all hope and pray for. Nope. Something shit hits the fan the next day at lunch. Okay. The next day at lunch, this is it goes to absolute complete shit. Tamlin and Lucien are able to kind of sense something that Feyre is not able to sense with her human abilities. Yeah. They immediately throw a glamour on her, which means they kind of hide her invisible to the naked eye. And someone walks into the room just as she kind of fades into invisibility. It's the handsome man.
Okay. He's back.
Clearly, Feyre doesn't know who this guy is, but knows that it's not good.
But she doesn't recognize him from...
No, she does. She just is like, this is the guy from that night, and like clearly he's a bad guy.
Right.
Okay, we learned that the handsome man's name is Rhysand.
Yes.
Okay, you may have heard his name before.
Yeah.
Okay. He's the High Lord of the Night Court. He's the most powerful High Lord in all of the land. I do want to pull up a picture of him, just so you can kind of see what we're working with here.
Now, does cereals get romantically involved or no?
We don't get that side of the story. This is the art that I kind of identify with Rhys and Rhys for short, Shirley. That's what I identify with.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So hot.
It's literally crazy.
It's like fucked up.
Like,
okay.
He's been mewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got like purple eyes too, like gorgeous lavender eyes.
Oh my God.
And he's like so fucking hot. And like it does suck because like obviously he's like evil, and the more they describe him, I'm like, he's definitely a lot more my type than this like blonde bitch, Tamlin, who's like hairs down his
I
ass
can't believe I
crack.
said anything about Tamlin. Like,
No, he's obviously like a sweetheart and all that at this point.
but he ain't no Rhysand.
He's not. He doesn't. He doesn't have the
Rhysand,
look.
Rhysand.
But I read it as Rhysand for so long, and it's kind of still hard to.
Okay.
I just call him Rhys.
You can do whatever.
Yeah, it's just
You might have a
Rhys.
different relationship with
I
him.
think I still read it as Rhysand, honestly, when I'm reading. Okay. So, because Rhys is so powerful, he knows that Feyre is there right away. He's like, don't even bother hiding this thing. Okay. I've clocked her right away. And I'm probably gonna tell her about it. Now, when he says her, Feyre's like, oh, this must be that mysterious she everybody's been talking about. And we kind of learn that that is Rhys's, like, they call Rhys that woman's whore. Okay? Like, Rhys is kind of whoring out to this woman.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna tell on you. Unless you fucking get on your knees and grovel to me right now.
Who's saying that to who?
Rhys is telling that to Tamlin and Lucien. Like, the only way, like, I'm not turning this girl in and that you guys have her, because, like, there should not be a human here. And she hates humans, the she. Okay? And they know that, like, oh, something horrible will happen to Feyre if this she finds out. So they get on their knees and they beg Rhys, which, like, obviously, like, you know, like, alpha male, like, that must be hard for them to do. And you know that it must be, like,
Tamlin's
really
mortified, and he's going to be angry
It must
after.
be really serious if they're getting on their knees. And they're begging, pleading for him not to tell, quote unquote, her. Rhys turns to Feyre and is like, what's your name? Tell me your name. And she's like, fuck, like, obviously I'm not going to tell him my name. So she just, like, pulls a name out of her ass of, like, this girl that she used to know named Claire Better. She's like, I'm Claire Better. And he's like, okay, Claire, good to know. Rhys leaves and Tamlin's like, that was, like, fucking horrible, by the way, and I need to send you home. Because, like, that's the only way I can keep you safe from him and from her. We still really don't.
From Blight.
Yeah, exactly, Patrick. Like, it's becoming clear that, like, she and this Blight, like, all that stuff, that's connected. And she's like, no, I don't want to go home.
Oh,
It's like,
now she
really?
wants- yeah.
Now she wants to go home.
After all your bitching.
Seriously.
Doesn't want to go home. Tamlin is like,
And who's the woman's whore?
Rhys.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's going to go tell his mistress woman.
Oh, the woman being she.
The woman is she. Rhys is her whore.
I see. I thought they were
Okay.
calling it Feyre's whore.
No. Feyre's not a whore right now.
No. Like the woman's whore being Feyre's whore, not she.
The she is just
It's
like
like
the
it's the
Blight.
Blight. Yeah.
Ex Blight.
I'm not explaining.
Think of she
I
ex
get
Blight
it.
collab.
Uh-huh.
Reese is in cahoots with she ex Blight.
Right.
Okay, that becomes clear. Is this making sense to anyone, Kenny? I see that your palm, your head.
Yeah. I think I got a little lost on the her whore thing.
Yeah.
But I understand
Reese
that
is
Reese
basically just working for her,
And he's a bad guy.
They call Reese her whore.
Gotcha.
We still don't know who her is.
Okay.
Yeah. Reese is a bad guy.
And she's got to go back home now. And now suddenly she
She's got to go back
does
home.
like the
They're
treatment.
like, we have got to get you away from Reese, from her. The
Yeah.
only way to keep you safe is to get you far away from these lands, send you home. Okay?
Okay. I'm following. Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm not going home. This is my home now. And
God.
Tamlin is like, you have to leave because I love you. Okay? And she doesn't say it back because she knows that if she tells Tamlin that she loves him, which she does, then she's not leaving. Like she's locked in to him for life. So she very begrudgingly goes back and is miserable. She gets home to the mortal lands, obviously like knocked out again by a glamour. She doesn't know kind of the way or anything. Her family is fucking loaded when she gets home. Like they are living in an absolute McMansion.
Oh, wow.
Elaine comes to the door to greet Feyre. She's like, welcome back from our aunt. Hope it's all good. Here's my like pretty dresses because I'm rich now. The dad is like back in business, good with his creditors, loaded. The only one that's like kind of like still pissy is Nesta, who's that pissy sister that I was telling you about.
Okay.
And she goes,
And she's probably also like, wow, Tamlin was telling the truth the whole time. Like he did take care of
he did. And
my
she,
family.
like is like even like more in love with
Right.
Tamlin now because of what he did for her family. And Nesta, who's still a little bit pissy, is like, I know you weren't with our aunt. And she's like, what do you mean? And Feyre's kind of realizing that Nesta's like iron will is like so strong that like the glamour didn't really work on her. And Nesta's like, I went to look for you, which is like kind of like that gave me goosebumps in the moment because it's like, wow, like you think Nesta like doesn't give a shit, but like she like went searching and hired people to find Feyre, and like she knew something was off. And Feyre kind of tells her everything, tells her about Tamlin, tells her everything she's been through, and Nesta kind of becomes her confidant. Okay. She's spending some time home. She's miserable. She's missing Tamlin. And she hears that there's been a murder in her town. And it's rumored to be a murder by fairies. And the family that was murdered is actually a family that she knew. And it's the Bedders. Okay? Because she said to Rhys, my name is Claire Bedder. So that family was murdered. And Claire was taken by the fairies. And she's like, oh shit, like this has something to do with me. Obviously Tamlin would not have let this happen. Something must be wrong with Tamlin. I'm going back.
Yep. She is.
I'm going back in.
Yeah, she is.
She somehow finds her way, like past the wall, back into the spring court, days long journey. And she has Nesta's full support, which is sweet.
Yeah.
Full journey. She gets to the manor, the McMansion, Tamlin's McMansion. It has been completely ransacked.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay? No one is there.
Shit.
Yeah, shit. Shit's hitting the fucking fan, dude.
Okay. Fuck.
Been completely ransacked. The only person there is Alis. And finally, she's like, this is what's going on. Like, here's the whole story with the Blight. So remember when the Suriel was saying a while ago, and this is the part I had to read like 1,000 times, so bear with me here.
Okay.
And Izzy, please chime in if I'm not doing a good job, which I probably won't. Remember when the Suriel was telling Feyre about Hybern and how there was that king and he like wants human slaves to be back, so he sent people over to kind of infiltrate Prynthian to wage a war? Well, there was this deceiver, right? Someone deceived the king. That is she. That is this woman.
The deceiver is she.
Is the woman that people are talking about, okay?
I'm following.
She basically took it into her own hands and was like, I'm going to take this land for myself. So she kind of like charmed all the high lords. She was like, no, like I'm good. Like I wasn't good before when I was over there with the king, but now I'm good and I want like what's in the best interest for both of our lands. Like I want to establish like peaceful trade routes and whatever. It's all good. Like let's have this meeting of all me and the high lords. Like she's very charming. Okay. When that meeting happens, she knocks the high lords out via like potion. Okay. Ooh. Which is subduing them is really the only way that she's going to be able to like take their power.
Right.
Okay. So she
tried to clean sweep.
She takes their power. Okay. While they're unconscious. And she has been like bringing an army in kind of silently this whole time. And then the army is like able to completely take over the whole land at this time. Because the High Lords don't have all of their power. She leaves them with a very small little glimmer of their power. Nothing like what it used to be. Right. And she takes over the whole land. Prynthian, P-Dog, is hers.
P-Town.
P-Town. Okay, P-Town. P-Town is hers. Her name is Amarantha. She calls herself the High Queen of the land. She is the Blight, okay? She's the one that's been sending these like evil creatures out. Everyone lives with her under the mountain. Like the other courts like don't really exist right now. They're in shambles. Everyone's under the mountain except for Tamlin and his court. Okay. Because she's madly in love with Tamlin and has given him the opportunity to kind of live on his own. Tamlin let her know that under no circumstance would he marry her and that he would rather marry a human, which to her is like the worst fucking thing in the world. She hates humans. Her sister was murdered by a human. Like she thinks they are fucking evil, fairy hating. Like she has so much hatred in her heart for humans. Right. Okay. And Tamlin tells her, I would rather marry a human than you.
And where is Feyre when this is all going
like
on?
I don't like not even born. Like all these people are like 500 years old. Like this shit has been happening for like hundreds of years, basically. Amarantha gave Tamlin 50 years to find a human to fall in love with him. And she's like, if you can actually find like one of these fairy hating humans to fall in love with you, then I'll break the curse. But you're not going to be able to.
Q.
Okay.
Is hope for Feyre.
So She's like, basically
Also
what you have to
obsessed
do.
with Amarantha.
She's
that
a
name.
fucking bitch. Okay? She's like, basically what you have to do is get a human, a fairy-hating human, to kill a fairy. Okay? Because I know how much they hate fairies, and I want them to hate fairies so much that it's going to be even harder for them to fall in love with you, a fairy. So what you have to do is get a human to kill a fairy, bring it back over to live with you after killing this fairy, and have the human tell you I love you. Okay?
I got
so
it.
Basically, Tamlin's been sending his friends over the wall for the past 50 years to be like, see if you can get a human to kill you. And like, I'll bring it back. So like, the curse is, it's on the 49th year. Like, it's almost over. Like, he's almost out of chances he's going to have to go under the mountain. Okay? Amarantha's like, the time is up. You're going to have to come live with me.
Okay, but did it get into the details of how many bitches Tamlin was bringing back over to the world? Like,
I don't think he
was
necessarily...
Feyre number like 500?
I don't know how many bitches he brought back over.
Because I bet you that was not his first swing.
I bet you that it probably wasn't his first swing, and he was like sending his friends over to like be killed, which is like, I guess he didn't really have a choice.
Douchebag.
But like, that's like a tough look. I was like, oh, that's a tough look, Tamlin. I don't like, that's like kind of shitty. So Feyre really was his last chance. But Feyre's like, oh my God, wait, I'm like addicted to Tamlin because he didn't even pressure me to say I love you back, and that would have broken the curse. Like, he cared more about me getting to safety than breaking the curse.
Okay.
It's kind of her mind frame, and she's like addicted to that.
Right.
Where in my mind, I was like, I would have been like, oh, so this was like manipulative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But her mind frame is like, he must really love me.
Right.
Okay. So she's like, I'm headed under the mountain to save Tamlin, because Tamlin's been taken under the mountain. Everyone's under the mountain now because the curse was not broken.
Okay.
Alis is like, don't fucking do that. Like, you're you're a human. Like, this is the most powerful bitch in like all of the land. Like, she literally has all of the High Lords like under her spell. Like, you can't survive her. And she's like, no, like my love for him, like I
so
can.
She's trying to go get Amarantha.
She's trying to go save Tamlin and everyone from Amarantha. Okay.
I'm so obsessed with Amarantha.
Okay. She goes under the mountain. And this is like the second half of the book. Like, the book takes a turn once Feyre gets under the mountain. Okay. And Izzy, I probably need your help with this part. Okay.
What's happened?
Let me access this part on the wiki. So she walks in under the mountain. It's just like crazy how she's like walking around like these lands with like these dangerous creatures.
With only
she
human
meets this
capability.
horrible creature like when she gets under the mountain called the ACOTAR, who's like just like beats her senseless. Like, and she's like she's still going, which is crazy.
Yeah, she's not giving up for her man.
Yeah, no. So she walks in to under the mountain. First thing she sees, Claire Better just like fucking toast, like hung up on the wall.
Oh, she had to see that firsthand.
She had to see that
hung up on the wall.
I think she's hanging on the wall.
Yeah,
like a deer head.
like for everyone to see.
Kind of like,
yeah, like
for everyone to see. Yeah. And,
Okay.
And yeah, what are you thinking?
I think Feyre is being a pick-me. She's complaining about being in this land. She gets snatched up. She's like, oh, that boy loves me. He had to find someone to stay alive or whatever. And then she's on the 49th year. She's not the first girl he's bringing back home. I'll tell you that. And yeah. And she's like, oh, I'm human, but I'm going to go kill Amarantha. And then like sees her dead growing up family friend. That was her fault because she's running her mouth to Rhysand about who or what her name is.
Patrick, I was aligned with you.
That was
completely.
impressive.
And also like this is the
I'm
part
not
where,
obsessed with her.
I know. I wasn't obsessed with Feyre either in this book. And I
I
was
don't
like, also
remember
like
being down bad for Tamlin though, but like
also like I'm not doing any of this. Like it is, I can't relate to you less. Like I'm not hunting for my family that hates me. I'm not complaining when I'm taken in by this like hot High Lord. I'm not going under the mountain. Like, are you fucking kidding?
Also, I was thinking earlier when they're having their calamari, like, why with you're human and you're with all these like you don't know shit about
you
fantasy.
don't know shit.
You don't know shit and you're walking out there. You're fucking lucky Rhysand came and saved you.
You're fucking lucky, dude.
Yeah.
Patrick,
Okay,
you really you're getting it on a level that like I don't think I even like really got it to this extent. Okay. She walks in, sees Claire. She's like, sorry. Like
right.
Sorry
about
I
that.
feel terrible. So she sees Rhys kind of like standing at Amarantha's throne.
Queen.
Queen. Yes, the queen. And Tamlin is at her other side. She's kind of like got Tamlin like as a puppet. Like he's wearing his crown. Like she's got him as his king now. Tamlin is sitting there like completely just like
Not happy.
just like her bitch.
Right.
Now.
Right.
He sees Feyre, does not react. Okay, there's no reaction behind his eyes.
Okay.
Amarantha's like, oh, who the fuck is this? Like this,
Right.
this human that just came under the mountain.
Who the fuck is this?
She learns that this is actually Tamlin's human that she learned about from Rhys. And she's like to Rhys, why'd you tell me it was this young woman that I just tortured to death? And Rhys is like, I don't know. All humans look the same to me. Like, it really makes no difference. Which Feyre knows is like, no, they don't. You recognized me when you saw me again. Like, something's up with Rhys. Like,
Right.
maybe he's not
I'm
fully
sure she's
like.
over there twirling her hair. No, you recognize me. Like,
Yep. So she's like, I don't know what's going on with Rhys really, because like I know that he knew that wasn't me, basically. So Feyre's like, listen, it would mean a lot to me if I could just take Tamlin back right now, and that would be easiest for me right now and for everyone else. And Amarantha,
Feyre says that?
to Amarantha,
the power
which,
she
like,
thinks she has.
I know. And Amarantha says, I'm going to give you two choices. Okay. First choice, if you answer my riddle, which of course
Love
now
a
we're getting
riddle.
into the riddles. Okay. This part's
Love
very
a
like
riddle.
fantasy fairy tale-esque. If you can answer my riddle, which like is just like, I'm not even going to read you the riddle. Obviously she couldn't answer it. I will free everyone and break the curse immediately. Feyre couldn't answer the riddle. Your second option is to complete these 3 trials of my choosing. I won't kill you. The trials might kill you, but I won't kill you. And if you complete the trials without dying, I'll free people and break the curse. And she's like, yeah, all right. Sounds good.
Wait, she'll free who?
Tamlin and the people that she was under the mountain. And break the curse and all that shit.
Right.
Okay?
She opts for?
Option B, as she
Trial.
cannot do the riddle. Okay, so she's thrown into the dungeon downstairs to kind of await her tasks. Rhys keeps visiting her and is like pissing her the fuck off. He's like taunting her, like won't leave her alone. And at this point, it's like, you don't know like what this Rhys guy's deal is.
Right.
He's really mean to her.
But handsome as hell.
Handsome as all hell.
Yeah.
But he is kind of the only one that's like keeping her company. Like Tamlin is nowhere to be found. Tamlin is just sitting up there like dead to the world, like glazed eyes. Okay, not acknowledging Feyre whatsoever. Okay. So Feyre's first trial is a maze with a giant worm. Think like that SpongeBob worm. That's what I think.
That's what I was thinking too.
Giant worm, and also like covered like just like shit. Like literally, it was like the most disgusting.
The worm's
chapter.
covered in shit.
She's like running through actual like poop. And like like Sarah like loves the author Sarah J. Maas like loves like describing how disgusting things are. And the whole chapter is just like how fucking foul this worm is. Feyre has shit all over. She smells horrible. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, ew. Okay. Feyre beats the worm, obviously, of course, because why wouldn't she? But she has.
How is she fighting? How is she hunting?
She's smart. She outsmarts it, basically. So she sets up a trap that she like puts all these like sharp. She breaks all these bones that she finds. And one like does go through her arm, I think, and really hurts her. And she sets up the bones and like covers it and like masks her scent. She covers herself in shit. Because the worm is tracking her via scent. So she's like, oh, if I cover myself in the worm's poop, the worm won't be able to smell me. She hides this trap. She sets for the worm. The worm falls into the trap, dies.
I'm not doing all
Feyre
that.
comes out like covered in.
I'm letting the worm get me.
Covered in worm poop. Arm hanging off, basically, like infected by the worm poop.
Oh my God, these trials are kind of like the Goblet of Fire.
It's definitely, I liked this part more than the first half because the first half was very much, I was like, what is going on? What is this Blight? The second half was like very like action.
Right. She's got some
action-based.
challenges.
Yeah. Okay. She won the trial. She's thrown back into the dungeon and she is dying. Okay. She's like, it's okay. She's hallucinating. Her wound is infected. She's like, Tamlin is going to come save me. At the very least, Lucian is going to come save me. No one comes to save her except Rhys comes and is like, you need my help. I want to make a bargain with you. And Feyre knows that she shouldn't. Aelys was like, don't make a bargain with anyone. She's already made one with Amarantha. with this
Right.
with this trial thing. And she's like, okay, I'll make another one with Rhys. That makes sense for me to do, especially because I was told not to explicitly.
Right. God.
She makes a bargain with Rhys because she knows she's gonna die, and Rhys is like twisting her broken arm, and it's like, you're gonna fucking die if you don't do this bargain with me.
So she's doing a bargain to heal herself.
To heal herself, and for the trade for her being healed by Rhys is Rhys says, when this is all over, if you make it, you're gonna come stay with me in the night court
Yup. That's the bargain I'd take.
for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks out of the month, I've got you. Okay. They shake on it. Feyre is now inked to the gods because that's what happens in the night court when you make a bargain.
Like she's got a
a
sleeve.
sweet sleeve tattoo
Hell yes.
that kind of matching with Rhys. And Rhys also knows like Tamlin's gonna hate that when he sees that. Like 'cause she's kind of marked by Rhys now. Okay. So now it's time for the second trial, which is simply just like a written question.
Doing a written exam right
It's
now.
like a written exam. And all she has to do is pull the lever A, B, or C, which is like the right answer to the written question, as this like sharp thing is kind of about to squish Lucian. Like she just has to stop it in time. Okay.
Yeah. Classic.
She, unfortunately, and Amarantha knows this, cannot read.
Okay.
She's completely illiterate. So she's like, oh, fuck.
Hey,
And she
33%
knows.
chance.
So she's got like, this is good math. She's got like a second before Lucian's about to be crushed. She reaches for one of I think, is this the part where she's like, I'll choose number 2 because it's like 2 people like me and Tamlin.
100%.
She is such a pick-me.
So
I
she
love
goes
it.
for 2. She's reaching for 2, and all of a sudden her arm like burns. Like she feels like a tingling in it, and she realizes Rhys is sending her a message. It's not the right one.
She's smart for that.
It's not the right one. But does she trust Rhys? We
Right.
still don't know what his deal is.
Right.
Okay. She ends up deciding to trust him. She goes to the other one. She gets no burning sensation in her tattoo. She pulls it. She gets it. She completes the second trial.
Okay.
Okay.
I bet
Thrown back
Amarantha's
into
not
the
happy.
dungeon. Okay. This whole time, like Rhys is kind of keeping her company. No one else is coming to visit her. She's being tortured by the guards down there. On behalf of Amarantha's instruction. And I think there's this one point she has to like clean up what does she have to do, Izzy? They throw her in this like
Oh, she has to like
room.
like clean the floors
and she
make
has
it
to
like
clean the floor in a way that's not
super clean
possible. It's
before
like
the
there's
guy gets
no way
back.
you're going to clean this floor in the way that you're being required to clean this floor.
Okay.
And they're like, you better clean it before the master of this room comes back or you're going to be in trouble. She's
So,
like,
like
well,
Cinderella.
fuck, I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to die like doing this and not the trials. Like, that sucks. The master of the room comes back. Ends up being Rhys. He's like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll clean it
I'll
up.
clean it for you.
Like, I'll clean it for you. So at this point, you're like, what is Rhys's deal? Like, he clearly like doesn't want Feyre to die. Like, he's helping her with these trials, but he's also like a huge asshole. She had to like pick ashes out of the fireplace or something.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we get to the nights. Okay. Each night, Rhys is making Feyre wear basically nothing but like a sheet.
She's doing lingerie.
Doing lingerie, parading her around upstairs because they have like parties each night, forcing her to drink that fairy wine that I was telling you about. Completely like basically naked, like inked up with Rhys's tattoo.
Okay.
Okay. Clad in like night court garments. Tamlin's still sitting there just like not doing anything, not saying a word. And there's so many good memes of Feyre just like a blackout on fairy wine, like like half naked under the mountain. Okay.
Right.
And you're just like, what is the fucking deal with Rhys? Because like this isn't good. What he's doing.
Clearly.
It's like forcing her to drink and whatever. Okay. Love it.
I'm thinking Tamlin's probably like brainwashed or something right now.
Well,
From
also my
Amarantha.
favorite meme in the whole world is this picture of Chris Pine. And the caption is just like Tamlin watching Feyre's trials. Oh, that is too damn good. And that is literally what it's like. Okay.
Okay.
The night before the third trial, Rhys like doesn't drug Feyre because it's like he
Sweet.
yeah, it's like
Sweet of
it's
him.
like really sweet of him because he does not want her to have any sort of like cloudy mind the next day.
Right.
Like he knows the third trial is going to be tough. Okay.
Okay.
She walks in for the third trial the next day, and there's 3 fairies with a bag over their head, and Amarantha is instructing her to kill these 3 innocent fairies. Okay, which is like honestly like Feyre's worst nightmare. She's like, that I don't think I can do that, honestly. But she thinks, okay, in order to save Tamlin and for the greater good, like I literally have to. And it's like this like kind of like torturous scene of her just like looking into the eyes of these like innocent fairies and like stabbing them. Okay,
Wait,
and
you gotta kill all 3.
Yeah, like one by one, a bag.
Also, Sarah J. Maas, you doing fairy and Feyre? Like, come on, y'all.
I had
It's
trouble
hard
with
to
that
keep
too.
up.
It is hard to keep up with all the names.
Okay.
First, like bag is lifted from the fairy's head. It's this like young fairy that's like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, like sobbing, and Feyre like has to stab him in the heart. It's like tough. Second fairy is like, you can kill me, like it's fine. Feyre stabs her, really tough. Third one, Tamlin.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so she has to kill Tamlin.
You are fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not even fucking with you right now.
Her love.
Yeah. So she's like, this is no. Like I literally can't. Now her wheels are turning right now, and she's remembering that Ayla said like there's a part of the curse that you don't know. And this is part of fantasy that kind of pisses me off when all of a sudden like you can kind of just like create a way out of things because you're not living in a world bound by like rule, like the way that our world works. You can kind of just like fix things real quick by making shit up.
Right.
So she's now remembering people being like, oh, like Tamlin has a heart of stone, blah, 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 in passing. And she's thinking, oh, maybe the second part of the curse that I don't know is Tamlin actually has a heart of stone and I can't kill him. Stabs Tamlin in the heart. Surprise, surprise, heart of stone.
Okay.
She wins the trials. Everyone's so excited. And Amarantha goes, I only said I would free you guys immediately if she solved the riddle. She didn't solve the riddle. Okay? I didn't say I would free you immediately if she completed the trials. I said I'd free you.
Amarantha.
Period. I'm not freeing you guys right now. I get to decide when I do that, and it's not now.
What was the riddle?
Want me to read it to you?
I'm like cracking up thinking it's like that a horse rides or a cowboy rides in on Tuesday, stays
Let
for
me
3
find
days.
it. There are those who seek me a lifetime but never we meet, and those I kiss but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill I do it slow. Can you solve it?
Like herself, Amarantha?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
And Feyre didn't get it either, obviously, so it's not an immediate spell release. So now everyone's pissed off, and at this point, Rhys is just like, "Fuck it." He tries to kill Amarantha.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, and Amarantha's like, "You bitch! Like I knew you were shady."
And are all these like Tamlin, Rhys, all the lords still have their lower level power?
The lowest level of power. Rhys
Running
will
on
be
low.
able to knock Amarantha out with a fucking thought. Okay, if his power wasn't vanquished like this. Okay.
Okay.
But unfortunately it is, and he can't really kill her. So he tries to kill her. Amarantha like knocks him out. Okay.
Okay.
Then Amarantha starts breaking Feyre's bones one by one. Feyre is dying. Her last breath, she utters the answer to the riddle, which is love. Okay, because Amarantha was like, she's so set on like humans being shit and like humans will never love and like they're filled with hate. So she was like, this human bitch is not gonna get this. Last breath of life, Feyre utters the answer to the riddle, love, curse is broken, Feyre is dead.
Okay.
Feyre's dead. Okay.
That's disappointing me, but I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also at that point I was like, okay, whatever. Feyre's dead. Curse is lifted. Everyone gets their full powers back. Tamlin kills Amarantha like immediately out of anger, crying over Feyre's dead body. And Rhys is like, we can bring her back to life. All 7 High Lords together can bring her back to life by giving her a bit of our power. And all of the High Lords, which like this is not something really that they would do because they don't want to give up even like a grain
Right.
of rice of their power.
Right.
But they do it because
she
Feyre
did save the.
saved them
Yeah.
and saved the world. So they bring her back to
So
life.
she saved all of Parthenon.
Mm-hmm. She saved all of Parthenon,
Okay.
this human. And this the
You gotta
time
give
that
it to
she's
her.
dead-
Gotta give it to her.
The time that she's dead, she's actually able to see what's happening through Rhys's eyes because she has some sort of bond with Rhys via the tattoo.
Right.
Okay. And she's kind of clinging on to that bond. Okay. She's brought back to life and now she's a fairy and she is immortal because she has pieces of their power. Okay.
Feyre becomes a fairy. I love
Feyre
it.
becomes a fairy. She's back in action. She saved them all from Corinthian. But she's like not really doing well emotionally on account of everything she's been through. Okay.
She's got some trauma.
And
Okay, get it?
and the fairies that she had to kill, those kind of keep haunting her. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so the last scene of the book is her like saying goodbye to Rhys. And at this scene, like Rhys is headed out, like he's going back to his home in the night court. He hasn't been. And we see he's actually has these beautiful wings. Okay. He loves to fly.
Hell yeah.
He loves to fly. We see these beautiful wings, and Feyre is like, wow, that's really pretty. And then there's like a weird scene at the end of the book where Rhys kind of like looks at her and like freaks out and is like, I have to go. Bye. Leaves.
Okay.
We don't see Rhys again. Feyre heads home with Tamlin, like all is well, but like she's like, but it's like not.
It's not the same.
It's not like
the same.
I'm not the same. Like my heart cannot go on this
Right.
way. And so that's the end of the first book. Amaranth is
Did it-
dead.
Feyre see any sort of back scar?
No, that's Fourth Wing.
Jesus Christ.
So you do retain.
I do retain.
And that's
I
what,
really do.
that's what this episode has shown. Okay. So we pick up the second book, which Izzy just finished and is my favorite book of the series. Okay. Pick up the second book. Feyre is like not okay. Like she is just like puking her guts out, like trauma. And Tamlin just like won't address it. Like he's just like wanting to go back to the way it was, wanting to live a perfect life. Like they're about to get married. Like it's about to be their wedding. And Feyre hasn't even heard from Rhys. She's just like a shell of a human and like completely withering away and like really struggling in this new life. So yeah, we can all relate.
Yeah. God, yeah.
So the second book is like she's getting married to Tamlin. And then as she's walking down the aisle, she's like, it's like I can't live this life. Like something's not right. Like I'm not the person I used to be. And somehow like someone hears her and immediately Rhys shows up and is like, Feyre, darling, like I'm coming to claim you for our bargain, and sweeps her back to the night court just as they're about to get married. And that is what the second book is about, is her like going back and forth and
Okay. Oh, yeah, because I forgot about Rhys's bargain.
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the best book in the world. And there we kind of really are able to dive into Rhys's character.
Right.
Yeah.
And boo-hoo, Feyre having these two hotties fight over her, huh?
Boo-ing who. And like, I don't even get it. No offense. I don't know what it is about Feyre that is so irresistible. The main protagonist in Throne of Glass, I was like, yeah, I get why all these guys want her. Like I fucking love this girl.
Right.
But I didn't really feel that way about Feyre.
But I
She's
feel like
kind
it's
of
just
annoying.
because Tamlin has to complete that thing for Amarantha.
Tamlin does love her.
That was for Amarantha?
Yes, but Tamlin does truly love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, that was a really good, eloquent recap. I feel like I'm surprised that so many people said they weren't as on board with the first book, because that was genuinely really interesting.
Thank you, Kenny. I look back on my experience with reading the first book, and I wonder why it didn't grip me as much. I think half of it was me like kind of being stubborn with like how hyped it was, and also not understanding that like fantasy requires like a lot of build up.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say also just adjusting to fantasy.
Also, honestly, not connecting with Tamlin.
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree.
You know,
I think the reason why I liked the first one is because you were telling me that this one was good. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to have to just power through it.
Right.
exactly.
So
Want to see something crazy? Is what I said with my own mouth after finishing the first book on the podcast. I watched this back and I'm like, that is really not okay. Okay. this was my reaction to the first book.
Cabin in the Woods.
Finish A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Okay, yeah.
I knew this before I read the first, so it's not fully a spoiler, but it's like if you want to know. This is completely a spoiler, by the way. I spoiled the book for everyone. I feel fucking horrible. Nothing, then don't listen to me right now.
I kind of don't want to know.
Okay. Basically, the first book is like Edward and Bella vibes with the two main characters. Like, there's in love, like you want them to be together. There's no indication that they would not be together. You're rooting for them, whatever. And the second book is about the main girl with a different guy. And you're wanting her to be with the guy from book one, obviously. And you meet the guy from the second book and the first book, and you're like, he's a bad person. And people are obsessed with it, and I don't see how I'm going to get there. But everyone's telling me I'm going to get there, which is
Wow.
weird. I feel weird about it. That's what I'll say. Okay, I'm done. Is that not fucking foul?
That's
also, like,
crazy.
a
See, that's when you had finished the
massive
first and just
spoiler.
barely started the second.
Hadn't started the second yet, and I was basically just like, why would she not be with Tamlin when this, like, and like, what is going to go on with this evil man?
Right. Wow, you really did like a 180.
Everyone does. And they're, like, obviously we're not getting into the second book right now, but like, obviously I said spoilers already. She doesn't end up with Tamlin. She ends up with Rhys. And Tamlin, like, is bad. Essentially.
Right.
Like, he's like, not like fully purely evil, but he's just like, you're so fucking over him. People get Tamlin tattoos after the first book.
No.
There have been a few girls with Tamlin tattoos,
Oh, that's tough.
which is like, Laser Away should sponsor.
Yeah.
Or like Sarah J. Maas should pay for
yeah.
for the laser tattoo removal, because it's like not it's not necessarily their fault.
Right.
Although I will
Just start
say,
a GoFundMe for them.
yeah, that's true. There were a lot of red flags that I guess everyone kind of just looked past with Tamlin. And probably Rhys too, but it's all good. All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll have to do another ACOTAR episode for the other books. I think we can squeeze all the other books into one episode because there's not that whole like plot exposition
a lot of intro.
dump. This was a lot of intro, a lot of info we had to cover.
Oh my God, Bone Carver wasn't even in there.
No, and you love the Bone Carver. Bone Carver's in the second book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
hear about the second book because before we started recording this morning, Izzy was like wrapping up and it sounded like she was reading some good old fashioned smut.
Oh, wait, tell us about your timeline last
Yeah.
night. You were saying was
Okay.
crazy.
So I got home last night at 5 and I had a dinner at 7:30. So I read from 5:30 or 5 to 7:20 and then went to dinner from 7:30 to 10 and then drank a lot. I drank wine, a little bit of wine.
No, that's fine. Izzy.
Fairy wine?
Well, it was too long, but it was a lot. Yeah, I had fairy wine. So then I was
wine, no
like,
big deal.
fuck it. I'm in it. Because I was at like chapter 43. And I was like, I have to get.
And I told you to get to 54.
Yeah.
Which is the chapter in this book where Rhys is kind of like, this is why I did what I did in the first book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I read from 10 to 2. And then
Oh my gosh.
this is
You had
bad.
to.
I had to. So then took a nap, a 3-hour nap, because I woke up at 5 to watch B&C so that I could
I'm
read.
sorry.
Nope. I loved it. Did B&C from 5 to 6, 6 to when we started. So 6 to 10:30.
Are you exhausted?
I don't
Or are
think
you
so.
high?
I think I'm high.
Yeah.
Or like still drunk. I don't know.
delirious.
Something.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
like,
I'm so proud of you.
yeah, I just calculated it was like 286 pages.
Whoa.
That book,
Which is
that's
crazy.
the book I was telling you. I was actually like, that was addiction.
Yeah.
You can't tear yourself away from it, even if you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to savor it, you can't.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some powerful writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny, you can say that again.
That's some powerful writing.
Yeah.
And also the way that she has pumped out her books is crazy.
Insane. And I wish so badly that like I got on this train earlier so that I could be there. I have not lived while she was actively releasing a book yet. Like by the time I started reading ACOTAR, all of the SJM books that are out, except for one of the Crescent City ones, which, as we know, I haven't.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the only one you haven't started of her.
So I haven't lived through an SJM release that I've been like, oh my God.
Right.
When the next ACOTAR book is announced, like, I can't imagine the state I'll be in.
Right. And they're doing an ACOTAR show, right?
It's been picked up. It's in the talks. A lot of people want it to be animated. over my dead body.
No.
But I do think it would be really hard to find people to measure up, especially to Rhys.
I was gonna say, why don't you tell everyone who you want Rhys to be and who you really don't want him to be?
No, that's mean.
Oh, okay.
Who do I really want him to be?
There was someone you were okay with. Oh, you wanted it to be like a young Matt Bomer.
Yeah, the only person that can play Rhys is Matt Bomer 20 years ago. So we can't, like, that's it.
Yeah.
So we're shit out of luck. So
I could see, is it Glenn Powell? I could see him maybe being like a farrier. So he's got the
maybe
strong
Tamlin.
jawline.
Mhm.
Maybe Tamlin.
Yes.
Should be Tamlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could definitely be Tamlin. That's true, Kenny. But there is no Rhys.
Yeah.
And then
No.
as we progress into the series, Rhys has two like blood brothers that aren't blood.
Mm-hmm.
No one can play them either.
Wow.
Choked on something in my mouth. So
It's a little bit of a
all right, you guys. I hope that was okay. I
That was
hope I did
great.
it justice.
I
Hope
feel
it was
so educated.
entertaining. We'll keep this train going.
We will.
We will keep this train going.
And thank you for having me
Thank
on
you
yet
so
again.
much for
You know I
coming.
love coming.
I love having you,
Uh-huh.
my little co-host.
Oh God.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.